Okay, so we are live here with our client chat to our
Yeah.
meeting today. And in here it's me, João, and Patrick as well. So I'm going to share my screen so we can just look through our agenda as usual. It's more or less the same that we have been playing with. Okay, present to everyone. Can you guys see my screen now?
I can see it.
Yep, I can see
Yeah.
it.
Okay, so we will start as usual with a little talk a little bit of what we did. We are going to show you some things that we did in this current sprint. We also are going to talk a little bit about some things that we are currently doing on the sprint. We don't have any major question or concern at this point. So we don't have questions for now. If you have any questions, then we will tackle them, and we'll talk a little bit about the priorities and schedule the next meeting. So to start us off here, this sprint we finished a group of stories here. We have more or less 3 points that we will be demoing to you on this meeting. So we changed some of the changes that we have here. Here. So we are refactoring some things, and by refactoring, when we say refactoring, is just picking up code that had some sort of didn't have any bug, but had some sort of issue that we needed to tackle in order to make our life easier in the future, or just to correct code that was not so correctly done. Let's call it like that.
Okay.
And we changed some things that were more internally, like this refactoring that I have here. We just changed some things in our server. We changed the way we are sending emails, and also removed some things that were deprecated already. Also, so I don't think we'll have much to show here. One of the things, I'm going back up. So we changed one more table in our homepage for the agency person. That's now it's being paginated with a more user-friendly way. One of the things that we will show is this point here. It's the revoke a job that we already talked about this last week in the last meeting. It's basically allowing you to not delete a job, but say, okay, this job no longer is available for some reason.
Okay.
Not a reason like I did accept someone for this job, but this job doesn't make sense anymore, so I'll just revoke it. So we'll have a little demo here to see how does it look like, this functionality. We will also we'll also show you this that previously, I think we'll show you this if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we will.
Yep. So basically, this is just to not allow you to remove skills that are present in the jobs, and it will make more sense when we see the screen, because this would be a little bit more abstract. This is just a little change. Now every company will require to have a job email in their system, and basically it's the email that we will use to whenever someone applies to a job, we will pick the information from that job seeker, and we'll send to this email the information of the application. So this will be required. One thing that we also did this sprint, we created the backend interface to be able to download the resume. So we are more or less halfway through, so we can already get the resume from a specific job seeker. We just don't have a place where we click on the web page in order to get it to the final user. So this is a two-step thing. When we retrieve it from the place where it is stored, the resume, and then we'll place it on the user. And then also we'll show you the ability to accept a job application. Sorry, here. And basically that is it for our demo. This is more or less what we've been working this week. And now I think I'll just pass on to Patrick, so we can just do you more the demo of these parts, and so we can visualize them instead of just me speaking here about things.
All right.
Okay, so Patrick, it's all yours.
Okay, great. So, Chet, what I want to show you today is, as you mentioned, revoke a job. Also, a control we put in place so you can't delete a job skill that's being used by one or more jobs. And then demo the acceptance of a job application. And coupled with that is the job itself that's related to the application is automatically set to filled when somebody accepts a job application, which makes sense. So those really are two things in the same demo. So anyway, let's go back up and revoke a job. So revoke a job means that I'm a company contact. We've got a job out there. We've decided not to fill it, or we're changing direction as a company, whatever. We want to pull the job back and not have anybody apply to it anymore. So I'm going to, first of all, in Firefox, I'm logged in as a job developer, Jane Doe. There's a reason I'm doing that, because all the job developers will get notified if any job is revoked. They all get notified in case they were working the job or they want to talk to the company as to why the job was revoked or whatever. And then in Safari, I will assume, job developer, and in Safari, I'm going to log in as a company contact, because I need to be a company contact in order to, or a company admin, to revoke a job that belongs to that company. So here's my home page, and part of my home page as a company person is that it shows me all the jobs posted in the company, that the company has posted. We have to add status to this display, by the way. We don't have that now, but we will shortly. That's fairly trivial to do that. So let me just look at my script here. So I'm going to look at this first one, Central Communications Director. It says I've got eight active applications in there. So here's the job again. Job status is active, and I can see that I've got 8 applications, accepted for this job, or entered for this job. So I can, at this point, accept one of these applications, and I'm not going to, that'll be part of the next demo, or the third demo, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to leave all these applications alone. I'm going to go back to my home page, and rather than look at the applications, I'm going to click on the actual title of the job itself. And you can see that I've got this extra control we've added called revoke.
Okay.
Revoke, you could call it withdraw, whatever makes sense. We could change the language, but anyway, pull back this job. We no longer want to place it. So I'll click on revoke, and it asks me to confirm because we can't undo this. And it says this is the job title, etc. We probably want to add to this alert as well, this confirmation, the number of applications against that job. It may be useful, but right now we don't have that. So I'll click revoke, and sure enough, we're actually going to the list of job opportunities for the company, and it's marking this one as revoked. So that's done. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go back to that same job, this one here, and again, I don't see the status, otherwise it would say revoked, but that's the one I've revoked, this first one. Now if I click on the applications link, it'll show me all of the applications that are still out there. They are active. In fact, they're not pulled back, etc. They're still in the system, but I can't take action. Normally this would say accept. The action would say accept. The button would be accept. Here it's just showing me the status of those applications. I can't change the status because the job is no longer active. So that's kind of what it looks like now. We can change this indicator at some point if need be to make it more clear what's going on there. But I can't accept an application to a revoked job, which makes sense. And there's the status of revoked. Anyway, when I was doing this, I was hiding something that was going on in the Firefox browser. That's where my job developer is, Jane Doe. And if we had 12 job developers and they're all logged in, they'd all get the same alert. And so they get a notification sent to their email and the pop-up. So this pop-up occurred when we were hiding that screen. And it says this particular job is revoked for this company. And I can click on that and I can review this particular job and see if I need to do something about this, with respect to that notification. So that's essentially that. So that's job revocation, revoking a job. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the next one, which is show you that we can't delete a job skill that's assigned to one or more jobs. So I will go to, here I'll log out in Firefox, and I'm going to log in as the agency administrator. And as you remember, agency administrator can maintain information regarding the agency and aspects of the agency work, one of which is job properties. Ignore that, that's just an alert to us developers. So there's job specialties, we know about that, and then there are job skills. Skills can be assigned to a job, and so you have to have this skill, or this is a nice to have skill, etc. These skills here. And there's this control, this little X. If I click on that, this skill will be deleted. It'll be expunged. I don't need it. It was a mistake. I never use it, whatever. But I can delete this. So what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to go back to Safari. And again, I'm the company contact here. And I'm going to go to one of these jobs here, let's say the second one that I haven't revoked. And I'm going to edit this job. And right now, there's no job skills associated with that job. But I'm going to add a job skill. And I'm going to add this particular, let's see, what was that job skill over here? That was area design. So let's go ahead and say, I need this skill for this job. It's required. You need to have at least, I don't know, 4 years of experience with that skill. And I'll click update. So now you can see the job skills listed for that job includes area design. It's required, and you need at least 4 years of experience. Great. So when I come back over here, if I clicked on delete of area design, I would get an error back or an alert back from the server saying you can't delete that. It's used by a job. But instead of doing that, I'm just going to refresh this screen to show you what would normally be the case, unless, if we weren't doing this at the same time. What would normally be the case is I would see this job skill, and over here, rather than the delete control, it says in use. And that's a clue to me that, oh yeah, at least one job, one or more jobs actually use this skill in their description. And so I can't delete that skill until there are no jobs associated with that are using that skill. So we don't want to create problems in the database where linkages don't work and we delete underlying data used by a job. So that's that. And then the last piece of the demo would be changing a job application to accepted. So I'm going to go back to Safari, this browser here. I'm already logged in as a company person, and I want to go back to my home page. I'll take one of these jobs here. Let's say customer tactics specialist, whatever that is. I'll click on the number of applications link. There are the 3 applications associated with this. I'm going to accept the first one from this fellow here. And I'm going to click on the accept button. And I see a nice little message saying job application has been accepted. So let's see. Right, so I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to go back and look at this customer tactics specialist, and here I'm going to click on the applications page. And I'm going to see that, sure enough, I have accepted. I can't change this now because I've accepted an application, and it's marked here as accepted for this person. The other applications for that job are automatically marked as not accepted because the job has now been offered to somebody else. Okay. So also, you can see the job status when I first went in here was active. Because I clicked an acceptance in the job application, the job status itself went to filled from active. So now it's done. Okay. And that's where we're at. So that's the end of the road for this particular job. It was active. We accepted an application. Now it's filled. So there's one last thing I didn't show you in this demo because I thought it'd be just too much. If for the person for whom I accepted an application, this individual here, if there is a job developer assigned to that person, then that job developer is notified of the acceptance. And the acceptance, again, is both the pop-up on the screen as well as an email to the job developer. The job developer will get an email saying, hey, you know, this particular job seeker has application to this job has been accepted by the company. And so they'll call up the job seeker and say, congratulations, you know, whatever. But anyway, that I
Right.
didn't show that in the demo, but that's when I say notification, there's a lot of notifications built into this stuff, and we don't need to see them all the time, but just to let you know that's also there.
That's good right there. That's real good.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
and yeah, so working in real time, right? As
Right.
much
That's
as we
what we
can.
need.
Yep. And that's all I had prepared for the demo. Um,
Okay, thank you,
so
Patrick.
certainly.
Okay, let me just stop
Yep.
you as a presenter. Okay, so Chad, do you have any question
No,
with the things that we showed you? Do you have any
not at the moment.
suggestion, anything?
Let me see. You have the active status from active to field. Sends a notification to the job developer, right? Lets them know
Mhm.
that their client has been accepted. Then a client and also goes into a pool, right, of job seekers that's filled and seeking, correct? So after he got accepted, did it show up on the job developer screen as the clients that he got hired, pretty much, or he or she got hired? Is it a pool under there, like a client pool of job seekers that's filled, or I forgot. I mean, not just, yeah, job seekers that's filled. You know, you have the rejected, the hired, and the processing. So it is a area, right, that shows all the people that job developer get hired. You all know what I mean?
Uh,
Yeah, we know what you
mm,
mean.
I understand what you say. We didn't account for that.
Can you account for
Okay,
that
I
yet?
think we didn't account for that. Now that you were talking, yeah, it makes sense. But I was thinking, you never know when a person, because let's imagine that you got someone hired for 1 month.
Okay.
Um, we need to have some sort of record, and we can show that that job seeker as being hired. But
Yep.
1 month after, he will be searching for a job again.
True.
So uh, yeah, but it makes sense. So we will create that, and I think we will discuss that
Now
implementation,
remember,
and we'll see how we can implement that in an easy way.
yeah,
Yes.
remember because we want to be able to track and so say if that job developer got 20 people hired or 50, and we were seeking to acquire another grant, we can present that information to them to show what we've done. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
It makes sense. We have that information. The thing is, internally we do have that information. So we just need
Okay.
to maybe somehow or save it into a different place, or
Yeah.
just
Export
do
it and stuff.
something with that
Remember
information.
the client pool, all the three pools basically.
Yeah, because we will not be able to show like just a user. We need to have a pair user job on that list, because that's the relationship that we have there. We wouldn't show like, if let's imagine that you're a job seeker for you're a job developer for John, and
Yeah.
John, and you get 3 jobs for John. We need to account those 3 jobs on that list as well,
Right.
and we need to see what's the best way to display that and everything. But okay,
Okay.
I'll just write that down, and we will look into that. Okay.
All right. So yeah, pretty much that's all the questions I had so far.
So on that one, Chad, you know, we can certainly do something on the screens that we've already got. But that, to me, that also opens up a whole new area which we're staying away from
Oh,
until
you are?
after release 1, which is reporting. You
Okay.
have a lot of reporting you have to do, maybe for compliance criteria for grants or whatever, or
Yep.
just to run your agency. So there's going to be a lot of requests for reports once you start using the system. I need this information on a monthly basis, etc.
Yep.
So that's a whole different area we've not discussed yet, but this will be a lot of work there, post-release 1 for sure.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Uh,
Well, pretty much that's it. You guys
Cool.
got it, and it was an excellent demo. You're doing a great job. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We've got our velocity of producing features is increased, Chet, because we've augmented the team.
Okay.
So we've got a U.S. team, we've got an Asia team now, and
Asia team.
so yep, 3 people in India and 1 person in Singapore right now, and they're helping out a lot too. They're again active students, eager to learn and smart, and they're
Okay.
helping us immensely move forward. So
Yeah, that's excellent. That's great
that's
news.
yeah, that's why this last sprint you see a lot more things than the completed list.
Okay.
Okay, so let's move on here. Let me share again my screen so you can see. Okay, so some of the things we've been working on. I'm not 100% sure I captured everything here, but I think the majority of them. So we've been working on this for some weeks, but I was not able yet to develop the new. I didn't have time to develop the new cruncher mechanism, but it's still there. It's halfway through, and I hope that maybe this week I'll have some time and I'll be able to push this forward. We are working a little bit on the tasks as well, with suggestions that you gave us and some other minor things.
Okay.
And we've been doing, I believe we're finally getting all the pagination on the agency person page solved, and after that we can just move on to another place, and hopefully maybe in this sprint we'll be able also to finish this and to have more or less a closed agency person page. Um, I don't know. I think I merged this today.
No, that's an
No,
outstanding.
it's not. It's not yet. So
Yep.
basically, we had some issues with the dates, where you just saw all the dates were in UTC time, and it didn't make a lot of sense to, if you're like in EST time, to see the time in UTC. So we also are doing some changes there. We need to do some refactoring also on the job seeker part, and then we started creating the um, the the backend part that talks with the cruncher that will retrieve our matches. So we
Okay.
already started doing this. We have more or less the code. It's almost complete. We have some minor issues that we are still solving in the cruncher,
Mm-hmm.
and we should be able to. Not sure if this sprint, maybe maybe this sprint we can just start showing some jobs when we have some these two things implemented. So that's more or less what we've been working on, but didn't deliver yet.
Okay.
And that's it. So as I said previously in the beginning, we currently don't have any question. But do you remember we talked about? I wasn't able to look into it, but we talked about the requirements that we had to get together to look into all the requirements that we currently have scheduled for the first version of the software,
Oh,
and so you can take a look at it. Me and Patrick last week or 2 weeks ago, I think we more or less finished that, but we need still to give another review, and then we'll schedule maybe next Friday. No, next Friday in the next client meeting, or maybe we can try to schedule a time in the meanwhile to just go through it and see what we have there.
okay.
But I believe we're already at the point that we really need to sit down and just look at what we have in what we call the MVP, um, and see if you're okay with that, and to see if we, as soon as possible, we can give you something for you to start working on and just looking at it, because that's what we really are here for, to make you software that you can use, because this is all very nice and dandy here in our demos, but while you don't start working with it, you will not be able to see if there is something that you'd like to enhance and things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so do you have any question for us at this point?
No.
No?
Actually, I have a question for the client.
No, we passed through it.
Look, we missed that.
No. We just passed through it and said we didn't have any questions.
So, Chet, yeah, I know, but I'm going to go back on that.
What was
So,
going
Chet,
on?
so,
Okay,
well,
okay.
we had decided earlier we didn't have any questions for you, but I do anyway. So, can you scroll up, Hugh, on your screen a little bit?
Yes.
So scroll up on.
So, yeah, so under worked on during the sprint, item 2, there's the fourth bullet down, ensure dates are in correct time zone. Now, what that means is we want to show dates to a user that, or times, dates and times that are for his or her time zone. So a lot of times that we have, like, for instance, we'll show when a resume was uploaded for a job seeker, and we'll have relative time. It'll say 2 days ago, about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. It'll be relative to now, but some of the dates are absolute, like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All of the dates that are absolute, we're defaulting to Eastern Standard Time because that's where we are, that's where Michigan is, etc. But if you had users that were, say, on the Mountain Time or Pacific Time or India, we want to show them absolute time stamps, not in Eastern Time in the U.S., but in their local time zone.
Yeah.
The question is, do we need that quickly for release 1, or can we defer that? Do you envision fairly soon having users to this that might be outside of Michigan in a different time zone, where that would be useful?
Well, right now, all the jobs are going to be. It's going to be in Michigan right now. For right now, Eastern Standard Time. So eventually, yeah, because you may do India. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in other places. So you definitely want to, have the correct timestamp. So yeah, we can save it for next time, or the next version, if you want to.
Well, let me ask you something. If you're dealing with jobs in Michigan, but the job is associated with a company that's headquartered in California, say, but they have
Oh,
operations in Michigan, so you're dealing with one of your users might be an HR person based in California, Pacific
you're,
time.
you're right. You're right. We do need it then.
Okay, so that scenario could happen then, huh? That
Yes,
can,
definitely
okay,
can. It happens. It does happen. I talk to people in different states all the time. So
I see. Okay, well, we've pretty much got it ready for review. I just want to make sure it's worth putting in. It sounds like it'd be useful.
okay.
So thanks for that. That helps us understand that.
All right. Thanks for asking.
Sure.
And pointing that out too. That's good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, any more questions, Patrick?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay. So, we were here. So you said you didn't have any question at this point.
Nope.
Is still true? Yes.
Yep. Yep. It's true.
You can go back on
Okay.
it.
Nah, I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, so more or less our priorities. Our priorities have been more or less the same during the last couple of sprints. And we hope that we can finally finish this point here, this sprint that has been being dragged for some time now. Let's see if we can finish this sprint. And also, we have already have done partially this, and I think we're almost complete, if not complete, really. And so we are going to be almost ready with the, I believe, job management as well. And we'll be start working more focused on this part, the job matching part, in this sprint. I think it will be more or less the major topic that we'll try to move forward. while addressing also the other things that we have to do, that we still have to do. And basically that's it as a priority for the next sprint. Okay, so next meeting, the 26th at 5:30. Is it okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so that's fine. And for us, we'll have one action point is to create the story that we talked about. I already created the other story, the one of the status of the job when you see the list to edit. That's already created. I created in the meanwhile, and I'll also create this new story. And okay, from my side, I think that's all.
All right.
I don't know if you guys have anything that you'd like to ask, anything that you'd like to add.
Nope, I'm all set.
Patrick,
Yeah, I'm all set too, I guess. Yep.
are you sure?
Okay. Yep.
Well,
Okay
it can wait.
Okay then. So we will see you again in 2 weeks, or maybe sooner if we get some time to get together to talk about our requirements for MVP.
Yeah, just contact me when you're ready, and we can discuss this.
Eventually, I haven't discussed this with Patrick yet, but maybe we'll send you the list first, like the day before or something, so you can just more or less take a look. I don't know. Maybe we try that it's not too technical, and it's more what is called a business requirement, something that explains itself. But we will see. Okay. So
All right.
thank you all for coming, and have a nice weekend.
You too.
Stay cool too.
Y'all take care. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, you too. Take
All
care.
right. All right. Bye.
Bye now.